The idea of climate change is a very serious issue and is being experienced all over the world. How is this issue affecting other countries? What are ways that we can handle and prevent this issue from ruining our environment and organisms living in it? The citizens in Germany have been affected by this issue and is continually becoming a bigger problem. Germany is located in Western Europe and stretches from the Alps to the Baltic Sea. The territory is the seventh largest country in Europe. Germany's climate is moderate and has generally no long periods of cold or hot weather. Northwestern and coastal Germany has a maritime influenced climate, which is characterized by warm summers and mildly cloudy winters. Rain falls throughout the year, with much of Germany experiencing maximum rainfall over the high summer months. Germany has seen a number of extremely hot days increase past the last several decades. Major cities, including Berlin and Hamburg, experience the urban heat island effect. This happens when natural landscapes are replaced with buildings and asphalt streets that absorb and store more heat, making the cities warmer than the surrounding areas. During spring, autumn, and winter, precipitation increased by 13%, and the temperatures are expected to increase from 0.5 to 1.5 Celsius from 2021 to 2050. Germany's traditional industrial regions are typically the most vulnerable to climate change. The North Sea provinces of Schleswig, Holstein, and Lower Saxony have a high vulnerability to storm surges and high-impact river flooding. A reason why Pomerania in Germany is vulnerable to climate change among northern provinces is that it is a relatively poor region of Germany with a large agricultural sector. Many Rhineland provinces and regions are heavily built up, creating the heat island effect as well. Urban areas are getting older with the rest of Germany, and this increases the frequency of heat waves, which can be dangerous for the population. Germany's Grand Coalition government of conservatives and social democrats has followed through on a coalition agreement to improve its climate action plan in 2050. It sets out measures aimed at making the country the largely greenhouse gas emissions neutral by 2050 and following through on its commitment to the Paris Climate Agreement from 2015. The energy sector will have to limit its greenhouse gas emissions to 175 to 183 million tons of CO2 equivalent by 2030. The federal government aims to make Germany's building stock largely climate neutral by 2050 as well. This means that buildings will have limited energy needs, which will be covered by renewables according to the plan. It says stricter emission limits for new cars will be set at a European level, and the government will advocate ambitious development of the targets, so a reduction of transport greenhouse gas emissions to 95 to 98 million tons of CO2 equivalents will be achieved by 2030 as well. Emissions from the industrial sector will have to be cut in half by 2030 compared to 1990. A large share of this has already been achieved. The sector must still reduce its emissions 140 to 143 million tons of CO2 equivalents. The government plans to reduce subsidies that are environmentally harmful, and this problem will be solved.